As rural Americans, we have a unique understanding of and connection to the land. Whether we ranch, farm, log, or simply recreate, what we do today determines our tomorrow. As stewards of the land, it's our duty to ensure that our children and grandchildren can enjoy the outdoors in a similar manner that was afforded us. Join the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation and ensure the future of elk, other wildlife, their habitat, and our hunting heritage. Visit rmef.org today.
Welcome to episode number 56 of According to Flint, and thanks as always to our friends at Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation for all of their support for everything According to Flint, venturing back into the rodeo world this week. And a young man who I've known since junior high, when I watched him and said, I don't know how successful that kid will be, but nobody will ever outwork him. And Haven Meged went on to become a world champion tie-down roper in the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. The Miles City, Montana Cowboy joins us this week on episode number 56 of According to Flint. But first, a quick word from our friends at Pendleton Whiskey and Montana Silversmiths.
One day, I will bring together iconic symbols steeped in tradition. One day, I will be forged and pushed to my limits by the elements. One day, I will be a crafted, timeless design, perfected through experience and determination. One day, you and I will meet, and together, our story will be told.
Well, welcome to episode number 56, According to Flint. As promised, world champion tie-down roper, Haven Meged. I'm admiring your backdrop, the brick wall, the numbers. You're Miles City, Montana, by the way, first things first. Just for you, Haven. Miles City Cowboy football shirt. See? I'm good, huh?
Good thing that wasn't an Holden shirt.
If this was your brother Holden shirt, it would be the double XL.
Look,
where are you? You moved to Texas?
Yes, sir. I'm in Stephenville, Texas.
Imagine that, a cowboy living in Stephenville, Texas. Who would have thought? It's still, Texas is still more reasonable to buy a place than parts of Montana.
Oh, absolutely. Other than Stephenville. it's crazy. $30,000, $35,000, $40,000 an acre.
What we were talking before, and I should say we had a little time because we waited for you, but it was because you were practicing and helping a kid. But we were talking, I was telling Logan, who helps me, about that you're down in Texas and trying to kind of explain. So many people, Canadians, Montanans, go down to Texas. It really just puts you in everything. Somebody making a living at rodeo, it really just immerses you in the whole culture, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it's a big thing, having to come down here and stuff, because I feel like being in Montana and anywhere in the north where it's cold, it's hard to be successful up there. You have to work your butt off because it's cold as hell up there practicing in the winter. So being down here, I mean, everybody that's up there, hats off to them. It sucks. I hate it up when it's freaking 40 below and you got to sit there for 2 hours to get your horse to cool off, and then you got to drive another hour to the barn or wherever. I mean, it's hard. I mean, if you make it out of the northern country, you're doing good, because it takes a lot of work. I mean, these guys down here, I tell all these kids I help, I said, you guys wouldn't even make it up there. I mean, it's so damn cold up there. I mean, you guys are so lucky. Your parents have all these nice places down here for you guys just to practice and stuff, and it's 70 degrees year round.
My daughter Shelby, who you know both my girls and have rodeoed together, she was going to do she wanted to do a video, a film, or a write-up about high school rodeo, like, and take a video at every high school rodeo in the spring and fall, and go over everything you got to overcome in Montana to be good in high school rodeo. It could snow, it could rain, it could be 100. You got to focus on everything else, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. These Texans don't understand how good they got covered lanes. They just rope and covered arenas and got these little 120-pound beef calves down here. I mean, it's great down here. The opportunity that the Southern kids have is unbelievable. You know, all the contractors bring calves to match up their sides and stuff. And in Montana, you rope some running off Corrientes. And I mean, if you're not on a fast horse, you might as well just hit him off the back end of the arena and rope him when he bounces off.
We've talked about that too, though, Shelby and I and Paige, about they go through the season, even in college rodeo too. They would go through the season. They never know what kind of goats they're running. Breakaway calves are running. They're not in lanes. They've said they feel like, being from Montana, there are times they have an advantage over kids who have practiced in every perfect condition. And that's why sometimes you get to the national level and have some success in certain events, because they don't have everything perfect.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you go to a lot of rodeos in the summertime where you might just have a rainstorm or hailstorm and something. It'll be muddy as heck out there, and a lot of people just give up out there. I mean, you just got to bear down. When you grow up in Montana, you've already roped in the blizzards and everything. Have ski goggles out there running down to tie your goat. Yeah, I mean, you're used to that stuff, so you just pull your lace-ups on and get ready and duct tape your whatever you got and bear down and try to win something.
Were you out of high school when the tornado hit at the state high school rodeo?
That was my senior year. I was backed in the box roping my calf, and right after I roped, they told everybody to get the hell and get some shelter.
I couldn't remember. That's funny you bring that up. I couldn't remember if it was you or what's his name from Melrose?
Dylan.
The Honkamp kid. Did you? Now I thought so. Just so people know, Baker, Montana, Southeast Montana. There are not tornadoes in a lot of Montana, but there are tornadoes in Southeast Montana. And one rolled like 100 yards behind the arena. We were really lucky that day. You know, we were all lucky to survive in that.
Yeah, we all lucked out. I mean, it could have wrecked millions of dollars of horses and trailers.
So
how it even went around us.
Did you tie your calf?
Yeah, I don't know. I was like a 10-3 or something. I think I won second in the round.
Did I make this up? Was there still somebody out there to untie your calf? Because it seems like somebody tied their calf, got on their horse, and everybody evacuated.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. Everybody was trying to go, so I just took my rope off and got out of there. I mean, my dad pretty much ran right to the stalls. We loaded all the horses, and we got them on, and we watched a car. Literally, there was a smaller tornado right in front of us. We were going up by the cutting arena, and a little car just got picked up off the ground and slammed on the ground. And I was so scared. I was like, "Holy crap!"
The joys of high school rodeo in Montana. I have pictures of the girls in snow. Well, so congratulations on living in Texas. Phil, great job.
Yeah, well, they just have tornadoes down here too.
I was just in Texas this past weekend. As we record this, I was in Fort Worth.
Heck yeah. Were you at the PBR this last?
Yeah, I'm good with Texas. Like when I'm in Texas, I'm good. I think the interstate systems are screwed up. It's confusing driving. But otherwise, I mean, Texas, to me, dealing with people in Texas seems easy to me. They're our kind of people.
Yeah. I mean, it's just nice to be down here because everything's right here. I mean, it's hard. Nobody wants a winter rodeo from Miles City, Montana. I mean, let's just drive 20 hours to San Antonio and then go back and then 20 hours back to Houston. I mean, who wants to do that? I don't even like driving up to the circuit finals. I think it's the dumbest thing to happen in January. let's just go up there and rope in Great Falls, Montana when it's 40 below and nobody's got their horses in shape and they got hair looking like gorillas out there.
Haven, man, you're bitter. No, hey, I can tell you before your time, I did the circuit finals in Great Falls. And it was one of those January weeks. It was like 37 below zero for real. Nobody turned their diesel pickup off.
I've been there. It was 40 below my second year I was there. And yeah, we had heated water buckets, and the heated water buckets couldn't even keep up with it. It was so dang cold outside. And yeah, we never shut our pickups off that year.
Nobody knows, do they?
No. I think it's stupid. I think roping calves, I mean, it's hard on the animals up there. You go from a 40 below outside to 70 degrees in the arena. I mean, that just makes the calves terrible and everything else. Your horses you have to literally sit there. I feel bad for our horses going outside. It was so cold. You can barely feel your hands when you walk a couple 100 feet from the stall barn to the arena.
So my clown barrel, there's that lane that, you guys come in.
Yeah.
That lane, and it's not heated back there. And my barrel, I never even thought about it, sat back there. And so I went and took the cover off it. Bull riding gets ready, and I roll my barrel out into that arena, and it was hard just like this. And the cold air was in it, and I got in it, and I had my head poking out, and you could see my breath because the cold.
It was so dang cold.
And there was no way I was getting in that barrel. It was so hard. It just froze. Like we have this conversation is like winter in Montana. You spend the whole day just figuring out how to thaw shit out. That's it.
Stupid. Texans are stupid. I mean, when you're down here, their water lines are literally, let's go 5-6 inches down and let's just put a water line in. Maybe if your horse paws the dirt, it's going to pop the water line. The freeze, oh my Lord. It was the last 2 years, it just popped all my water lines, and I'm just out there plumber. I mean, I'm supposed to be a roper, not a plumber.
Yeah, but Bart probably taught you all that, your dad, right?
No. Bart, yeah, he just chews your ass. He expects you to know it.
Speaking of Montana, how long, when you made the NFR, you were a calf roper from Montana. How long had it been since a calf roper from Montana made the NFR? Do you remember?
I think Bill Parker was the last guy, maybe in the 80s or something.
Yeah, I mean like early 80s, right?
Yeah, it was a long, like maybe 80, 81 or something. I can't remember, but they said Bill Parker was the last guy to make it.
To me, it kind of makes sense with everything. By the way, everything you've just been talking about kind of adds to this topic. The calf roping, we've said forever, as far as events go, as far as everything coming together perfectly, calf roping's probably the hardest event in that. And it makes sense that somebody from Montana, you struggle because your horse has to be good. You got to have good calves to practice on. You got to be tuned up roping. You got to tie from the post. You got to, all those things calf ropers do. It's hard to do that consistently in Montana on that national quality level, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's tough. I mean, not to tell Shelby not to get people to go to college up there, but I mean, it's so dang hard to stay successful up there. I mean, for real, I tell everybody to go south if you want to get to the next level roping calves. I mean, it's different team roping and doing other events up there, but if you want to rope calves and be successful, there's not enough jackpots to be roping against. I mean, if you think about it, there's jackpots. You can go to 3 jackpots a week where I'm at right here in Stephenville, and they're all 30 minutes from the house. So if you think about that, all them other kids, if you're in Montana high school, college, those kids in the winter aren't practicing. You know, it's a pain in the butt to practice up there. So you think about it, these guys are down here roping year round and stuff, and you're roping 5-6 months out of the year. These guys are roping 12 months. I mean, they get ahead of you, and it's hard to catch back up once you fall behind and stuff. And that's why I went to college down south, just so I could try to catch up. And it took me, I felt like 2 years to finally catch up to the guys down here and stuff, because it feels like, yes, I did tried to practice 12 months out of the year. But I might only got to practice 5 days out of a couple, like December or January, just because it was so cold, or all my calves died in the polar Arctic up there.
And a guy like you, who is a good horseman, and that's so much a part of it. When you talk about going to jackpots every 3 times a week, you're not talking about just for you. If you got a 5-year-old that it's time to tie down some calves on, and you have this nice horse, you got to have a place to take them, not just you. If you want to keep that line of succession of horses that you need to have, they need a place to go as bad as you do.
Oh yeah, that's like you can go to these jackpots and just pay the stock charge run. I went to them last Wednesday. Let's just sit there till 1 o'clock in the morning, and I mean, it's just a crap load of calf ropers that night, and I paid my $50 and sat there till 1 in the morning, and I took 2 5-year-olds that never been anywhere and just took them there to get experience and stuff. And it's just part of a sacrifice to get them to the next level where we want them to be. People don't realize it. Some people just got mommy and daddy's money where they just go buy $150,000 calf horse. It takes a long time to get a big time horse to the next level. People don't understand that, because not a lot of guys want to spend the time, go to the jackpots till 1 in the morning. It costs $20,000 just to season a good horse to have them ready to try to make the national finals on. And that's not even counting your diesel and time and stuff. That's just entry fees and stuff. You're hauling them around because they're going to cost you a lot of money. Walking up, maybe not scoring, not running, not stopping, not pulling. I mean, there's just all kinds of different variables in the calf roping once you step off a horse.
When did you really start? I mostly have talked about how hard you worked when you were younger, but when did you start really making calf roping horses? How old do you think you were when you really said, okay, I'm going to make a horse here?
Yeah. I guess in high school, we always had some ranch horses and stuff. And, I got one horse that I bought from Ty Erickson with all my 4-H money. I thought I was going to cry that day when I wrote him a check for $15,000. And I was just like, holy crap, there goes all my money for a 15-year-old horse. And anyways, it's just after that, I got to know what a good one felt like and stuff. So then I knew what I needed to do to make my other horses feel like that. So, we had some ranch horses, so I started roping calves on them and trying to bring them along. And I guess after the time of the years and stuff, I've gotten better horses every single year. I feel like I get my hands on better prospects every single year. And I guess the time that I started was probably high school, I guess sophomore year, freshman year, somewhere right there and stuff. But I feel like now I've finally got to where I perfected it. It's taken me 6-7 years to finally perfect it. And it takes a long time, just the amount of, 2 years just to get a good calf horse solid. Yeah. It feels like.
I've told this story a lot the first time I ever saw you. And because my girl, Shelby, didn't, we weren't the junior rodeo. All of a sudden we're in junior high rodeo. Katie had a great horse that she took to the circuit finals in the barrel racing. And the people she bought him from said, he was a real good pole bending horse. And the big sorrel horse, and Shelby's in 7th grade. We put her on this pole horse and away she goes. So we go to Hamilton to the state junior high rodeo. Remember, it was in Western Montana, Hamilton. Yeah. And I didn't know any of the kids, and I'm standing at the end of the arena, and it's the boys' goat tie.
Oh, shit.
That's what I said. And this kid, you come in, and you were little, though. You were little for a long time.
I weighed probably 65 pounds.
You were like 4'11".
Yeah.
And it's these boys coming in, and the boys' goat time's terrible. Nobody. And here comes Haven, this kid, and you bailed off at full speed. I'm like, this kid is crazy. And I go to my daughter, Shelby, and I said, who's the tiny little Indian kid that's just crazy? She said, that's Haven. I don't even think you're an Indian. I just said, and she goes, that's Haven. And I watched you that weekend. And by the end of the weekend, I said, you know what? That kid won this weekend because nobody works harder than him. And from that day in junior high, I have believed that I didn't know if you'd ever make the NFR, but I knew nobody would ever outwork you. Ever.
Yeah. Thank you.
But that's it, isn't it? I mean,
no.
High school, you were 4-H, you did good in school, you had your own cattle. Now it's probably way easier to keep working hard.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I try to like install in like all these kids that come over and rope with me every day and stuff. I try to get them like we work on different things every single day. And I'm a tough ass. I'm a hard ass coach, because I don't like half ass. If you're going to sit on your phone and stuff, just get out of my way because I don't want to see you. Because if you want to be all in and you were going to be here, I mean, let's get after it because I want to get better. I mean, I don't care if I have a gold buckle, 4 back numbers, it doesn't matter. I wake up every single morning to try to get better. And if you're going to be in my way not trying to get better, then I don't need you in my arena because it costs too much for me to go up and down the road and not for me not to get quality practice every day. And if you're going to be here, I want to help you get better. But if you don't want to be all in, then it's not. There's no hard feelings. Just you need to leave, and the next kid can come practice.
If I come to your arena, I'm going to sit in a lawn chair and have a glass of wine or something. But you have no expectation of me. That's it. That's all I can bring.
No, you show up. Well, maybe we'll try to get some guys. I mean, because the clowns are terrible at the rodeo, so maybe we can try to get some guys with some different clown acts, not the same ones repeating every time. I mean,
I spoiled you.
I can do the Spider-Man on the fence and everything else.
Terrible. See, you'll get me in trouble now. But I will say this. I always tell people, like people used to at rodeos or even PBR say, hey, you did that last week, do something else. I said, did you buy a ticket? Because I always said, I don't care what you think. However, I always had a goal to entertain you guys too. That was kind of always my goal.
No, it's good, but the biggest thing every day that I think everybody needs to understand in life, I mean, it's not just in the rodeo, in life too. I mean, everybody's trying to get better, and I think it's a good thing to strive for because it's not just roping, kids, college kids, high school kids trying to get their grades better and stuff like that. Staying on top of things goes a long ways, not falling behind and being a slacker.
Yeah. I should finish the junior high rodeo story, by the way. And Shelby reminded me of this. And I know I bring her up a lot, but you guys, I have a great picture of you two both winning the all around at the state high school rodeo. I mean, your family has always meant a lot to me, but she just 2 days ago, I told her I was doing this with you. And I was talking about junior high rodeo. She goes, hey Dad, do you remember though? Like 3 days later, I came and said, hey, remember that little goat tire kid? Yeah. He's texting me. I said, the hell he is. And she just giggled. And now I know you. So it was okay, but it was not okay. Wasn't okay. Hey, couple things. Well, first of all, the season's over. The 2022 season is over. You're 4th in the all around. So you're saying there's a chance. There's no chance. You ain't winning the all around. What'd you win money? Team rope. You won some team roping money, right?
I went, I think, I don't know, 35 or 3,600 in the team roping, I guess.
Do you do any steer roping, steer tripping?
I don't think I entered anywhere this year. I mean, I have in the past, but not this year. I didn't enter nowhere. So if I could find a good horse that doesn't cost an arm and leg in the busting, it's just hard. The tripping event, I feel like it's better to try to make the finals in the heading, like the team roping is than the tripping, unless you have a really good winner, because the tripping slacks and the calf roping slacks are polar opposites. So either you're roping calves or tripping steers. I mean, Trevor Brazil is a freak athlete to be able to do all three of them.
He is a freak athlete. Have you are a good team roper. I know it's different when you get to that level, does it cross your mind to, hey, if I get a really good head horse, if I can work this, do you think you head steers good enough that you make the NFR?
I'm not gonna say I can or not. I'm just gonna say that I'll damn sure work my butt off to try to be able to, because I got a really good 6-year-old that I rope calves on and head on that I feel like I could make the national finals on. But I'm not gonna say without a good healer that I'm gonna make the national finals. So I just feel like I could put the time and work in and get a couple nice horses and give them hell.
I just mentioned the season's over. By the way, rodeo's the only sport that the regular season ends and then it's 2 months until their Super Bowl. And hey, when I was rodeoing for a while, the season went to the 1st of November.
Yeah.
That was, so what do you know? Maybe you can tell me, because I forgot. It was explained to me at one time why it ended the end of September. What is the thinking there? Do you know?
I have no idea. I'm just glad it does. Because when you leave the house June 1st and get home October 1st, you're ready to get home.
Tell me this. And because I can't remember if you've been in that spot, I always look at those guys from about 13 to 18 in the standings. For people listening in the top 15, go to the regular National Finals Rodeo. It comes down to that last month as you go to Ellensburg and Walla Walla and then to, Lewiston and Pendleton and Albuquerque's going on, that whole September. If you're 13th to 18th, how, even watching guys, even if you've never been in that spot, how stressful is that time period of going?
Oh, that's the most stressful time of the year. That's when you leave out for June 1st, I mean, every barrier, calf you miss, anything, calf get up, I mean, that it all comes down to that right at the end of the season. So, I mean, being sharp and ready when you leave the house is a big time. And it's not just that, because drawing is a big factor. So, I mean, if you're not drawing good and then you start drawing good in the end of the season, then you're trying to make up and then you're stuck on the bubble. The bubble, it's a nightmare. I mean, I'm stressed out for the guys watching it because they're my buddies. I mean, I don't even want to be remotely close to that thing. That's just something you want to be scared of at all times. And I'm definitely afraid of the bubble. I don't ever want to drop close to it, because, I mean, it makes or breaks you right there, honestly, because, I mean, it costs a lot of money for us to be out there, and without sponsors, I mean, it's hard to even stay out there remotely. So, if you don't make the national finals, I mean, that's where we're making all our money. We're just breaking even, being dumb, gambling our money all year. And when we show up to the national finals, you better have your hammer cocked and ready to win some good money, just so we can have a 6-figure year.
Yeah. Well, I got guys I work with here, do work for the big fall rodeo here in Billings, the Nile Pro Rodeo. That used to be one of those, if you're on the bubble, you got to go because it was in the season. So I've seen that. Yeah, of course they have 130 barrel racers or whatever, but it's hit and miss what contestants go. You're qualified for the NFR, solid position. What do you go to now? The rodeos now count towards the 2023 season. Do you go to many, and how do you decide what ones to go to?
So the only one I'm going to count towards my rodeo count, we have 80 rodeos we can go to. So the only one I'm going to count right now is going to the San Angelo Roping Fiesta last week in October. I skipped going to the Nile this year because we have the big rope horse fraternity. Not this weekend, it's next weekend. It pays $100,000, so I'll just skip the Nile and going to go there. But I'll only go to one rodeo, and then I try to come Reno. I don't want to be over like 20 rodeos, and that way I can pretty much go to quite a few of the rodeos. But we're trying to go to 2 headers, because if you go to a 2-head rodeo, you have 3 chances to win money and stuff. But if you just go to 1 header, you only have 1 chance to win money. And that's if you're going to count your rodeo, you might as well have a chance at winning 3 times.
Right. So that was for people watching that. So some rodeos, it's just 1. It's a 3-day rodeo. You get to go once, and it counts as a rodeo.
Yep.
Some of those you get 2, and then maybe a short round like a Reno.
Yep.
So you get 3 chances, but that's still only 1 rodeo, right?
Yep. That's just one rodeo, but you get those chances. So you try to go to them 2-head, 3-head rodeos that have more calves that you can have more chances of winning money. That way, if you draw a bad one, well, you still have a chance at winning a couple grand or whatever it's going to pay. Because I mean, you will go to the big $10,000 one headers. So it's pretty much what you'll go to if it's a one header. You go to a couple $5,000, $7,500 one headers, but not many of those because there's quite a few good two headers, and a lot of the rodeos have grown a lot. So it's great. Be nice if some of them circuit rodeos in Montana would pick up a little bit.
Yeah.
Dylan,
You were in Dillon. You went to Dillon. You placed in the team roping, didn't you?
yeah. They said Roy Cooper called me while I was on the way to Dillon, and he said, "Heck, they had 4,000 added back in 1980 when I was going to those things." He said it was the best rodeos over Labor Day.
Montana, and this is the only place I've lived. It's hard. I see it in Montana. There's just the places where Montana is really growing aren't those good old roads. They're not Miles City. There's Dillon. The rodeo that's picking up that I went to, I happened to be home. I went to a night of the pro rodeo in Bozeman, and I think that has some potential to really take off. It's the newer ones because they're in the areas of Montana where there's money. Cause like I do, not all of Montana has any money.
Yeah.
Big Fork, Montana, I think there's some potential.
Yeah. Big Fork, Montana has a heck of a good rodeo. I mean, they've been doing it good for the last couple of years, and they said they're just going to keep trying to grow it and grow it. And I feel like as a whole through the PRCA, there's been a lot of rodeos grow, and I just feel like for us with the increase of fuel and everything else, the inflation, I feel like the rodeos should have to increase by probably like 15-20%, in their added money and stuff, because them rough stock guys, they just get to drive around in a van and shoot, let's pay $100 and get on a horse and win 10,000 because everybody else falls off. I mean, that's them guys get to win all that ground money and stuff. We have so much expense just in fuel, fees, vet bills, everything else, just trying to get to a rodeo and stuff. And when them guys have 10,000 added an event, and we have 3,000. I mean, that's tough for us to go to those rodeos. And they always ask why we don't go. And I mean, when it's equal money, that's nice for us.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you, because through my years of doing radio shows and stuff, and I do a little show here about when it's important, like 4th of July comes. Oh, you got to do good 4th of July. I said recently, because it's this time of year, that I think as far as the timing goes, Labor Day is as important. So 3 times a year, winter rodeos, big winter rodeos, 4th of July, or Labor Day. Is any more important than the other? Do you put more value on any of those?
No, not really. I mean, the 4th of July is overrated. I mean, everybody psychs himself out about it. I don't think about the Labor Day as much because hopefully I have the finals made by then. But the 4th of July, I feel like everybody, holy crap, it's 4th of July, you need to win 30,000. Well, I feel like everybody's looking at the big picture, not taking care of the calves they're running and stuff, and I'm guilty for it. I've messed up and missed a couple calves over the 4th and should have won a lot more money, but I know what to do better for next year and stuff. It's something you learn every single year out there. It doesn't matter how many gold buckles, back numbers you have, you're going to learn stuff every single year because, I mean, it's a marathon out there, and it sucks. I mean, people always just see the bright lights and the back numbers and everything else at Vegas. Oh, them guys are so lucky they get to go to Vegas. Well, they don't see the all night drives and all the head hanging out the window, just trying to stay awake, driving all night to the next one and being tired. I mean, that stuff sucks. I mean, people don't see that kind of stuff that it takes to be successful out there.
I see what you mean on the 4th of July. I think I could see myself. I know it's hard to put myself in your position, but I've been out there, looking. I would think, it's always how many can you enter, how many can you get to? But if you can hit where you want to be and be effective at those, you're going to come out ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the rodeo count changed and stuff, instead of 100 rodeos, it was 75 last year. Now they moved it to 80. But I mean, you just try to go to the big, good rodeos, and some guys will go to some smaller ones, but just do good at the ones you're at. Don't try to go to 15 rodeos and just wear yourself out. I feel like going to the 7 or 8 that we went to last year, I was worn out, and we didn't even go to 15. It was just a lot of all night 3 nights in a row. I mean, when you drive from Greeley, Colorado to Pecos to Prescott to Oakley, Utah to St. Paul to Cody to Pinoka and back down to Red Lodge, every single day was all night drives. We just went to like 7 of them, and it was just zigzag all over the world.
You know what I think the rodeo business has been very lucky at, and I have no idea how I say it every year when I'm talking to guys. This is a hard, it's a bad topic. How we haven't had more bad wrecks out on the roads.
Absolutely. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know how more people don't wreck. I mean, it's tough out there trying to stay awake, and I mean it's hard to afford a driver out there.
Yeah,
because price of fuel and everything.
Not this summer before. Shelby came through, my Shelby, not your Shelby. Came through, but if she did come through Billings, I'd let you know. She came into Billings, and we left here at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. to slack at Belfouche. She was breakaway roping.
Yeah.
Belfouche, get down there and busted up to Killdeer, North Dakota, and then just came back to Billings. It took me 3 days. Like, this is bullshit. I can't do this, man. I'm like you.
That's how Bart was. He drove over to West Utah my rookie year, and we drove to Chinook, Montana, and then back to the house, and he said, I'm done. It took him 3 days to recoup, too. He said, I don't know how you guys even do this. I'm never coming out there. I can't even get him to come watch me at Pendleton or any of them cool rodeos. He doesn't even want to come out there. He said, no, I'm not helping you drive.
Your dad, Bart's a whiner, though. He used to be tougher. He's just not.
I mean, for all the miles he's put on, I figured he'd like to come and see different stuff. But he said, I'd rather just stay home.
You know, by the way, your dad, Bart, and your mom, Hayes, is there. They have I wore the Miles City shirt today. They have the auction, the sale barn in Miles City. And I know that the guys I work with, bullfighters, when people say, how do I do what you're doing? They say, go work in a sale barn, because you learn cattle. You learn how they, what they do, how they act, how to read, sorting them. Just, don't you think that what you're doing now, you were just around cattle your whole life? Had to make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been around them since I can remember. I mean, growing up, we were outside tagging calves, whatever, on the ranch, roping stuff, getting ran over. I mean, it was just different stuff we always did, messing around, riding steers. I mean, it was stuff we always did. We're always around cattle, messing with them, whether it was show cattle in the arena, whatever. I mean, and then at the sale barn, you learn to handle wild cattle, gentle cattle. I mean, it's just stuff that you're always around. And I mean, I'm very fortunate that I got to grow up around that stuff and understand, because a lot of kids can't sort a cow or write a check anymore these days.
Yeah. Your dad, when you were young and you got Hayes rodeoed a little, it's funny to me that you and your sister Harley, and you guys kind of look alike. You're slight built, little. Then you got Hayes and Holden, who are offensive linemen.
Yeah.
On the football team. What the heck happened there? Like,
I have no idea. I literally have no idea. Harley seems like she's bigger than me. I feel like I'm the shrimp of the family. I tell mom and dad they put every one of the other kids on a creek feeding ration and gave me the cereal ration because they couldn't afford nothing.
Because Holden, I just saw Holden not very long ago. Is he having a good football season this fall?
Yeah, he's an animal. He freaking run you over. I don't mess with him.
He is a beast. I'll never forget. It's my podcast, so I can say this. we're at the state high school rodeo when I think you were still there. You might have been gone, and he was little. Remember, he's little and round.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he just ran around the rodeo with his buddies. And I said, hey, Holden. Hey, I always called him Peckerhead. Hey, Peckerhead, what are you doing? And he walked by. He said, Flint, just Peckerhead stuff. That's all. He's still that way.
Oh, absolutely. He used to just walk around everybody. If there's 10 people cooking breakfast, he's going to have 10 different burritos that morning.
He's like the dog at the rodeo that just goes around like Bugsy. Yeah. We talk I've mentioned high school rodeo and stuff with you just for stories more than anything, but we used to fight the battle a little bit in youth rodeo, high school rodeo in particular. And I think now you're a good example of how it can hurt kids. Remember it, and it's still this way in Montana, you got to take your 7 best rodeos. So you always wanted to max out.
Yep.
And so it was all about, do you remember you'd get to a point in the spring where if you didn't get first, it didn't do you any good.
Yep.
And we used to fight that battle that it didn't teach you how to rodeo. Remember, it was wrong, I thought.
Now you got to win 13 first.
Oh, did it change?
Now you got to win 13 first. So now they made it twice as hard.
So I used to have Lisa Lockhart used to be my example. She still is.
Yeah.
But to me, and I mean this in a good way, I don't think that I used to argue that it's teaching kids how to rodeo the wrong way. How'd you do this weekend? No good. I got 4 seconds. I needed firsts. So they got to where if you didn't win first, it was no good. You're an example of, you don't see a lot of Haven Meged in the results winning all the rodeos. You're not always smoking them for a 7.2, getting first. Somebody told me I'd rather win third every time than first every third time or something. I can't remember. But you're an example of you just got to be there, right in there every time.
Yep. I feel like if I can show up and if I go to 10 rodeos and if I can place at every single rodeo, that's fine with me. I don't need to win first. I don't care if I ever win first at a rodeo until the 10th round at national finals. That's the only time I want to have that first is winning the gold buckle, honestly, because I mean, $100, $200, that stuff adds up fast. I mean, yeah, it's not the $2,000, $3,000 checks you want, but I mean, those checks will add up and, come down to world title. My rookie year, I won it by $1,200. So, I mean, those $200 and $300, $500 checks added up. So, I do agree that Montana needs to open their points up and stuff where, kids understand that it's okay to win 5th or 6th and keep their head up and keep pushing forward, not just get discouraged all the time.
That your rookie year at the NFR, we were about 4 or 5 rounds in and you were 8-6, then you were 8-5, then you were 8-4. I mean, for example. Yeah. And I remember halfway through the week, my girls and I sitting there, I said, he's going to Haven Meged their ass and end up winning the whole thing. And that's all you did. You just kind of every night, there's the results. I don't think I ever gave you a go-round buckle. Did I? Nope. Or mate, never.
Nope. I faster than 8 flat in my rookie year.
And ended up being a world champ.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember looking up going, hey, look, Haven won some point. And you were my pro fantasy rodeo team. You were my calf rope. So that I was happy.
Probably made you funny.
You didn't make me anything, but I was excited for you. It looked good. I was in the top like 4%, but that doesn't pay any better than the bottom 90.
Shit. Well, that ain't.
Well, do I pick you this year?
Absolutely.
What are you coming in?
3rd.
Oh, you're 3rd? Yep. You just Haven Meged them all year.
I don't know about that, I guess.
You're getting married. When are you getting married?
That's Do you know? Question. No, we don't know yet. I mean, just because of this lovely COVID shit you got going on. I mean, her family's Canadian, so it's hard for them to all come across the border, and it's hard for my family to go across the border up there. So I don't know. We're still been trying to get this planned and trying to figure something out where it accommodates everybody.
Got to be good. Everybody thinks it'd be good to be either marrying or going out with someone who has similar interests to you. You guys not only have similar interests, Shelby, have I always said her last name right? Beaujolais?
Yep.
Look at me. It's like I speak French.
Yeah.
You and Shelby not only have similar interests, she as well, one of, and maybe right now, if not the best women's breakaway roper in the world. Is that too much? How are your practice sessions? Describe your practice sessions.
Depends on the day. Some days, I mean, they're pretty competitive some days, but no, most of the time it's really good because we're there. You know, it's nice. I mean, I've always wanted somebody to be there to help watch video, you know, because growing up, mom and dad were always gone. There was a couple times they got to be there and stuff, but I always tried to have my little brother and sister film me when I was younger so I could watch and send them off and stuff. But Shelby's so good. She ropes good. She's phenomenal with a horse. So she helps me and tells me to slow down because I like to go fast and too fast sometimes. So it just helps a lot to have somebody that's that caliber to rope with you because I feel like it just allows you to get better every single day and you can push each other to get better and try to win more gold buckles.
You did go fast in the goat time.
Yeah. Oh, I went fast a lot of times in the goat time. I wiped out a couple times.
Yeah, I know. I laughed every time. So my daughter Paige, when she goat ties, you know, everybody comes to the fence. You see her like in high school they did. That's how I was when you were goat tying because I knew you were going to bite your ass eventually. Like
I'd either be going, it's going to be good, or I'd run the goat over, or I'd eat shit.
Well, listen, when you decide on a wedding date, let me know because I got a couple things working for me that I think I could be a good presence at your wedding.
What's that?
For one, I speak fluent Canadian.
Okay.
Well, not fluid. There's some words that I don't use that they use a lot, but I know they're going, oh, I drank about 15 beer last night. Hey, oh, for sure. You know, and I can sing. I could sing in your wedding.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
There you go. We'll film it. We'll make an episode out of it.
It'll be like Tough and Tiffs.
I didn't go to that. Did you go to that?
No, I just seen I'm pretty sure it was like filmed or something. It was on something big, like Cowboy Channel or something like that.
Yeah. Well, we'll put yours. We can't bring you Cowboy Channel, but according to Flint, we're all in.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we'll do it. I was trying to think, you know what? I do want to tell you, I did a call with you a few weeks ago. We did a pre-fert call with all their youth kids.
Yep.
And they called me, somebody canceled. I'm me. Hey, somebody canceled. Can you do this for us, guy? That's me.
That was me too.
Yeah. And, but I think it's cool. When I knew you when you were young, I knew you as somebody who didn't say a lot. And, you know, I've done different things with you now. And I sat back. It's a big conference call and they have all their young kids at pre-fert sponsors. And we were talking about making an impression on people and things like that. And you went first because you had to go. And I sat there the whole time. And I just wanted, even on that call, for you to know this job, this occupation we have in this industry, people know you and remember you outside of the arena as much as inside. And you have really opened up and talk. You said some impressive stuff to those kids, some impressive things. Have you seen that really help you as far as sponsors, fans? Is that something you consciously have done or has it just happened?
I think it's just happened, you know. I always we grew up in a small town and never was around a lot of people, but I mean, I like to go meet people and stuff. And, you know, I feel like getting to come down south, meeting different people and, you know, just going to college and stuff. I feel like it just opened up a whole different can of worms, I guess. Just you got to be around a whole different group of people, and you pretty much broaden your whole horizon of people you got to be around and all your connections and stuff. So I feel like trying to meet everybody and shake hands and get their phone number, and just that way someday you might need something, they might need something. That way you guys can connect and do whatever you need to do. So I always was trying to connect, and I feel like that's kind of led me to where I can connect with, some sponsors and stuff like that, because I mean, it's not easy to get sponsors or do any of that stuff or do all your social media or whatever you got to do to please everybody.
And of all you said, you're from a small town. For people from out of state, there might not be a more cowboy town, I know, in Montana than Miles City, Montana.
Yeah, there's a lot of good cowboys there.
Yeah, and that's the name. It's the Cowboys.
Cowboy.
Custer County High.
Yes, sir.
Remember when your dad was sitting in the lawn chair by our trailer and the barrel horse was sleeping and he moved? Kicked him in the head?
Yeah.
Knocked him out.
Oh, there's been lots of times where Glasgow high school rodeos running the post pounder and split his head open. Had to go to the ER.
Well, it served him right, because we were at the junior high state finals and they were having a safety meeting at the trailer out in the sun, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that horse kicked him right in the head, and they looked over. They said, "What happened to Bart?" And he was just laying there snoring. Horse knocked him out.
It doesn't surprise me.
Okay. Hey, before I let you go, I do this thing. I post these things about buckles, me and Montana Silversmiths, because every buckle has a story.
Yes, sir.
Trevor Brazil's been on this podcast. I asked him the same thing. When you're having just a regular day, you're practicing, you've come in the house, you're cooling down for the day, what buckle are you wearing?
I'm wearing my Ram Circuit Finals buckle.
Let me see. Can you sit up? There you go. Ram Circuit Finals. Wow. Yeah. And it's freaking worn.
Oh yeah. I wear it today.
So why do you pick that buckle?
It was my first PRCA buckle I ever won, and it was something that really meant the world to me, and it really was the first thing that changed my career as far as getting a big step on 125,000 there, and big step towards the national finals and towards the world title. I mean, it was just a huge stepping stone in my life.
See, I've become enthralled. Every buckle has a story, David.
Yes.
I display this book. I hadn't even looked. Remember earlier, I was going to see 2004 Wrangler National Finals Rodeo Barrelman. There you go. Right there. I have no idea why. The one I keep on I wear a Coors Man in the Can one and a PBR one, but that one you never even got your name put on it, did you?
No. I didn't even want to send my gold buckle to get my name on it, because it's like, here, 30 seconds, look at your gold buckle, then you're not going to see it till February. I was like, oh, crap. I was like, I'll just do it myself or something, because it's something that, when you get your first gold buckle, Trevor probably just hands them off. Oh, shoot, I got 24, 26, whatever. Yeah, they'll get it again. But, it's just something really cool and special once you get your first gold buckle. And once they take it away from you, it's like, heck, I might want to wear it out to the MGM. It's just something that it's really cool to have. And I don't wear mine much. I'll wear it at the rodeos and stuff, but I'm too scared to wear it outside working or something, because I don't want to scratch it.
If you win 2 or 3 more, then you'll be a little more free to wear the gold buckle.
Yeah, I'll probably wear it when I'm branding or doing something.
Hey, listen, mostly I wanted to have you on because we're just proud of you up here. I know you're in Texas, but you're a Montana guy. Promise, you got to make me a promise.
What's that? That I come back up there?
Well, no, I don't care. I don't care if you no. Yeah, if you're ever here, call me. Promise me this, that every year that you're at the NFR, at the beginning when they run the flags and the states around, that you always ride under the Montana flag.
I'll never ride under the Texas flag. they announced my name at the permit finals from Stephenville, Texas, and I went right up there and told them, I said, I'm not from Stephenville, Texas. I'm from Miles City, Montana.
There you go. Perfect. Hey, thanks for doing this, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.